Okay, so I've started recording also now. Okay. Till the time Dipteji is joining back, anyone wants to ask anything? Or we are good?
I'll take your leave, ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure,
Thank you.
Ravindra.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for joining.
Ravi ji, before you go,
problem.
do you have 5 minutes?
Yeah, please go ahead. No problem.
Okay. I'm waiting for Vijay ji. Vijay ji, I want to speak to Ravi ji, so you have to be in the
Yeah.
call. So
Yeah.
I can, yeah.
Fully
Okay. So Vijay ji, there was some.
So I've resumed it, and now we'll start with the Scrum. Okay. So what is a Scrum? Okay. Agile is like an umbrella.
Okay, hold up for 1 second, please. So last week, what we have learned so far 4 requirement and sprint and user stories. That was we learned, right? And today we are learning Scrum. Vijay ji,
User stories. We are going to learn user stories in depth.
Okay, fine. So Vijay ji, do you want to review last week's session, or we can proceed further for the Scrum one? Whatever you suggest, I'm fine with that.
Review kar
We
sakte,
can
that
start
will
with
be better.
Scrum. Huh?
Yeah, you have the thing. You can just review that. That will be better.
I have that things. Richa ji, can we do that for 5 minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So last time, sorry Jay, I don't know about you, like what were you there in that presentation, but in last session, last to last I believe. So there was like learning about waterfall versus agile, old approach, new approach. There is like scope in waterfall. What would be there? Like there is a scope is fixed, and the budget and schedule is also fixed. Like if you
No.
have been told,
You are missing on this. You are confusing on this.
no.
In waterfall, scope is fixed. Requirements are
Yeah, that's what
fixed.
I said.
And accordingly, we estimate for budget and schedule.
Correct.
We
That's what I.
estimate for it. Okay?
Yes.
Huh.
So we are creating a project plan. Then success is measured by adherence of the plan. Correct. And in agile, scope is a requirement. Okay. And success is measured by delivering value and quality within the existing constraint. Yeah, that is correct. So that's what we have learned, and we know that how do we do that. After that, we learn sprint. Like there are 4 requirements, and there are a chunk of 4 requirements, right? And in that sprint, we have learned that in first requirement, there will be a duration for iteration of 2 weeks. Correct? And for user story, each and everything should be declared, like acceptance criteria, benefit of agile. That's what we have learned in last lecture. Also, transparency in a team, that we have to that we already learned, that we have to talk with stakeholder as well as developer. So you can communicate with these two team, like one is your team and one is your stakeholder meeting. So you have to be transparent in between. Also, the execution will be faster, because these are the benefit of agile. Quality is better, and it's a reliable methodology. Commitment is also there, and less waste. That's what we have learned so far.
Yes.
And when to use agile and when to use waterfall. If scope is not defined, then we have to use agile. If scope is defined, then waterfall we have to use.
Hmm.
Requirement change frequently, we have to use agile. Requirement
Yes.
not change frequently, then you have to use waterfall.
Yes.
Activities cannot be well defined upfront, then you can use agile.
Hmm.
Estimated planning is difficult. Estimating or planning is difficult, then you have to use agile.
Hmm.
And then you explain about the point of sale. Okay,
Yes.
that was an example.
Yes.
And after that, we did activity like you give $1 coin to 5 people, $2 coin to 7 people, and $5 coin to 5 other people. And for $10 coin, $10 bill, you give to 6 people. So once you give these coin and
No,
you
no,
have
no, no. I have not given it to anybody. It's
no,
with
no, no,
you
no, no.
only.
Yeah,
No, not 6 people, 6 counts. I have asked you to take 6 counts of $1.
yeah, five counts of $1, 7 counts of $2,
Hmm.
5
Yes.
counts of $5, and 6 counts of $10.
Yes.
And you say you explain. I'm not saying that you give it to us. I'm
Nee,
saying
nee,
that
nee. Not to 6 people. Not to 6 people. It's like 6 counts of $1.
Say that is the same activity which I did, right? You're talking about.
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
So
the one.
basically, what I did is like I had just to rephrase. So I had 10 1 cents, 10
Hmm.
quarters, and 10 dimes,
Hmm.
right? So then
Right.
I started with the whole 30 coins with me. I flipped
Hmm.
one by one coin, and after the
Hmm.
all the coins were flipped, the second person started flipping the coins, and
Hmm.
then the whole cycle went on. So it took around about, for 4 people, it took 156 seconds to complete. And then when we did the second part of that activity, where I flipped the coin and gave it to the second person flipped the coin and gave it to the third person. So that way
Hmm.
that series went on, and that took just hardly 1/3 of the time uh,
Hmm.
of whatever actually took. So basically, it says that you don't have to wait for the whole phase to complete. You just if the one thing is completed, and the other person can start. And so basically, you are utilizing the time of the person working, everyone's availability, because in the first activity, the 3 people are just watching, but in the second activity, all are engaged, and you are saving on time, and even you are producing the output faster.
Yes.
सारा की ठंडी गई.
दिखते जी ऐसा पता चला.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Okay, we
Okay.
can proceed now.
We can proceed. ठीक है. ठीक है. तो अभी okay. Just a quick question. Can you all arrange spaghetti in tomorrow in the day after tomorrow's class?
What? Arrange spaghetti? We want to get some spaghetti?
You must be having it at home, नहीं है?
नहीं, वो नहीं
Spaghetti
खाते.
से कहाँ दूंगी?
करना है ना, एक्टिविटी है इसलिए पूछ रहे हैं. स्पैगेटी एंड मार्शमेलो.
नहीं.
मार्शमेलो भी नहीं है ना. मार्शमेलो तो मेरे पास होगा, लेकिन मैं किसी के घर पे हूँ अभी.
Okay, ठीक है.
Oh, what exactly you want from that? Pieces, some parts, or what exactly is it?
This will be used in a activity. So for that activity, we required all these things.
I have couple of sticks if you want small sticks, which are maybe
No,
toothpick or
not
something like that.
not these sticks. I specifically want spaghettis.
कुछ पकाने सिखाने वाले हैं क्या स्पेगेटी कैसा करना है?
हाँ, कुकिंग भी सिखाएंगे हम. So don't worry. मार्शमेलो भी खिलाएंगे आपको, स्पैगेटी भी खिलाएंगे. Don't worry. Will do. ठीक है, कोई नहीं.
Alternative? Any other?
नहीं, कोई अल्टरनेटिव नहीं है उसका.
Oh, really? Why? If it is just an
नहीं है.
activity.
There is a very famous activity behind this. ठीक है, वो फिर बाद में देखते हैं किसी तरह से. Otherwise, I'll do it and I'll share my, like, I'll switch on my camera and I'll do that. ठीक है. Let's see कब कर सकते हैं. नेक्स्ट सेशन में किया तो नेक्स्ट सेशन में, नहीं तो फिर
अपन
कर
homework
देंगे
बता-
बाद में.
करी तो ना
Sorry?
पेपर में
Yeah.
दीप्तेश जी, आप कुछ बोल रहे हैं?
नहीं, वो मेरे दोस्त की डॉटर मेरे पास आई है तो उसको बोला कि डेट का होमवर्क दिखा दो.
Oh, okay. You have a daughter. Oh, good. Nice. Nice to know. ठीक है, चलिए. So we'll proceed further with the Scrum. ठीक है.
Mhm.
What is a Scrum? So consider Agile is an umbrella. Okay. And Scrum is one spike of it. Okay.
Okay.
Getting it? As we have
Okay.
already understood that what is Agile. Agile is a mindset which has 4 values and 12 principles and lots many practices. So one of the practices, Scrum. If someone asks you what is the relation between Agile and Scrum, so you can simply say that Agile behaves like an umbrella and Scrum is one of its spike. Why?
Okay.
Why Scrum behaves like a spike? Because without spikes, you cannot build an umbrella, right?
Mhm.
So that is equally important as the Agile is important.
Can I say like this, because Scrum is a practice, right, of Agile. So there could be that some other, I don't know the names you told, Kanban or something.
Kanban,
So those are
Lean.
also a practice, right? So then
Yes.
if I say it's one of the spike, that might not make the relevance, because the other spikes cannot be what do you call it? Different things, because then if you are only using Scrum, so you have only one spike, that cannot be an umbrella, because umbrella cannot stand with one spike. So I will maybe put it in this fashion that maybe Agile is an umbrella, right? But then Scrum is like maybe a lady's umbrella, spike of the ladies umbrella, or
No,
Kanban is a James umbrella. So that kind of categorization, because all of the spikes will be Scrum.
No. It's not like that. Spikes is like each spike is equally important for umbrella.
Right.
Right? Without any of this spike, you cannot use the umbrella. Right? If one spike is broken, you cannot use it.
Okay.
Right?
But
so that way, all the spikes like Kanban, Scrum, Lean programming, Extreme programming, these are equally important for the Agile. And this is how we generally relate these two.
But a company is going to follow only one, right? They don't follow all of them
Yes.
together, right?
No, they can use different approaches in different projects. Okay.
Oh.
Some projects, like I have told you, that Kanban is used into those kind of projects where customer is waiting for your response, like your IT department. Okay. Your IT department of your company, they are using Kanban, wherein you are acting as the customer to your IT department, right? They have categorized your queries or your problems in different categories. Accordingly, they have made up the response time and the priorities of those categories. Okay. Like your computer got your shut down, like it got broke down. So now, what could be the priority of this kind of issue? And Dipteji is having, like, he wants to install some software on his laptop. So these 2 tickets got generated for them. Okay. Now, what could be the priority of these 2? your issues priority would be high, because you cannot proceed further without starting your computer, right? Wherein Diptesh ji can work on his thing by using other options. Maybe he can use the virtual machines and he can work on it, right? But you cannot work because your computer is not working. So you would be on high priority and response time to your ticket would be very less. They have to, as soon as you log the ticket, they have to report back to you, right?
Yeah.
They have to get back to you, and they have to work on your ticket first rather than working on Diptesh ji's ticket.
Okay.
So there we can use, there they use Kanban process, the Kanban approach. And Scrum could be used for development kind of projects, where the entire development is going on. Okay. Maintenance kind of projects could be used by Kanban or by other approaches. Maintenance projects would also be used by can be used by Kanban. Okay. So in an organization, depending on your project, you can choose the practice from Agile. But as far as development is considered, as far as development is targeted, then we suggest to go for Scrum.
Okay.
This is good in development projects.
Okay.
Okay. If it is like some project is already alive and only it's like it's alive and some kind of very few requirements came from the customer, like your customer, then you can use Kanban in that kind of project. Project is already alive, but we have to provide some kind of support to those projects, right? That customer may face some issues during using those projects. So at that time, we can use Kanban, wherein customer logs the ticket, and according to their priority and response time, we respond to that ticket. Okay.
Yeah.
Other way of saying, like explaining the relationship between Agile and Scrum could be your family. Like your family is Nanavare family, right?
Yeah.
And your family members, like if I want to address you, then only I will say Vijayji. Otherwise, what I say, if I want to address your family, I'll say this is the Nanavare family.
Okay.
Right? So Nanavare family is what? Agile family. Wherein Vijayji is who? Vijayji is the family member of Nanavare. Is one of the family member of Nanavare family. The similar way, Scrum is the family member of Agile. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So now if I say you are the head of your family and you have your spouse and 2 kids, is it mandatory that whatever values and principles you have, your family members also have the same?
Yeah.
No, it's not necessary. It's not necessary that whatever value and principles you have in your life, that is mandatory for all of the members. Yes, your family members will respect your values and principles, but they can also have, in addition to your values and principles, other values and principles in their life. It is not necessary that the same values and principles would be followed by each and every person of your family.
But then if that
They
is the
may,
case, then since
they,
Agile has those 4 values and principles, so then everybody doesn't follow Scrum and all
no,
of them
no,
don't
no, no,
follow
no,
that.
no, 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 no. They may or may not have the same thing, but they will respect your values and principles. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि whatever is your like you are the head of the family, ठीक है? So whatever values to you, it's not like that your family members will not give the consideration to those values. They will do that. They will respect your decision. They will respect your values and principles, right? But it is not necessary that they also have the same thing. They may have in addition to those values and principles. Are
But
you
then
getting it?
no, but then still I'm not getting Agile. Why do we enforce on the 4 values and 12 principles? So then why? Because then that will not be under Agile umbrella. They should break it down
Okay.
different under different.
Okay, I'll give you an I'll explain it. Wait. Okay. There is a problem which you are facing. You as an entire family, you are facing some problem. Okay. Your way of resolving that issue would be different, right?
Okay.
Your wife's way of resolving those issues could be different, and your both the kids will have the totally different way of resolving it.
Okay.
Right? When you come together, all the 4 people of your family, and discussing about the solution of that problem, does that mean that whatever you have suggested, your family member will start shouting on you? Like, no, this will not going to work. No, no. They'll listen to you. They'll think on it. They'll discuss on that resolution, right? The similar way you will also do with the other people's solution. That doesn't mean that you start shouting on each other, right? You'll give the respect to each one's thought process, and accordingly you will find out the best way of resolving that issue, right?
Okay.
Everyone has their thought process will be based on what? Their values and principles, right? But does that mean that they are not respecting your values and principles? No. They have their own way of thought, they have their own way of thinking, but that doesn't mean that they are not respecting your values. It may happen that one of your kid is following the same values and principles which you are having, right? And the other kid has few values and principles of yours, and in addition to those, he must have other values and principles in his life. हम कहते हैं ना कि हमारी फैमिली में 5 लोग हैं, 5 के 5 एक से नहीं है, सब अलग अलग हैं, but that doesn't mean that they are not the family. They are the family. But सबका अपना अपना सोच है, सबकी अपनी अपनी काम करने की अलग process है, right? Are you getting it now?
Yeah.
Values and principles तो हैं. Being the head of the family, you have the values and principles, and सबको पता है, your family members know that what is the values and principles of yours, ठीक है? And they cannot go beyond that. They also know that, but that doesn't mean that they cannot have their own values and principles, right?
Okay.
Some in direct way or indirectly way, you are saying that these are my values and principles, right?
Mhm.
And you have to follow. Directly or indirectly, you are saying that. But is it 100% sure that everyone is going to follow your values and principles? They will keep that in their mind that yes, this is what my father believes in, but I have different way of working. Like it may happen that you are very practical, but your kids are very emotional, or vice versa, that you have emotional way of thinking and your kids have the practical way of thinking, right?
Mhm.
लेकिन ऐसा नहीं होगा कि वो आपके वैल्यूज एंड प्रिंसिपल्स को बिल्कुल साइड में कर देंगे और अपना करेंगे. They will always have their things in their mind. नहीं, my father believes in this, so I have to keep this in my mind and accordingly I have to work. Right?
Okay.
ऐसा होता है ना, मतलब
Yeah.
like if you think of your father's like your parents way of working, ठीक है, आप कुछ भी करोगे तो आप दोनों चीजों को अपने माइंड में रख के चलते हो. आप अपने पेरेंट्स के बारे में भी सोचोगे, आप अपने बच्चों के बारे में सोचोगे, एंड यू विल ट्राई टू बैलेंस देम, कि ऐसा कुछ करते हैं जिससे आपके पेरेंट्स भी खुश हो जाएं और आपके बच्चे भी खुश हो जाएं. क्यों करते हो आप ऐसा? बिकॉज यू नो कि क्या वैल्यूज एंड प्रिंसिपल्स आपके फादर के हैं और कौन से आपके बच्चों के,
Mhm.
एंड अकॉर्डिंगली यू विल स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन इट, राइट?
Yeah.
लेकिन जरूरी है क्या कि जो आपके फादर की सोच है वही आपकी भी सोच है? नहीं,
नहीं.
राइट? आप जब इंडिया से शिफ्ट हुए होगे, सो एट दैट टाइम यू मस्ट हैव फेस सो मेनी इश्यूज.
Mhm.
काफी लोगों ने आपको, फैमिली मेंबर्स अदर देन योर पेरेंट्स ऑल्सो, आपके फैमिली मेंबर्स ने भी आपको बोला होगा बहुत कुछ, कि कहाँ जा रहे हो, कहाँ अकेले रहोगे, डोंट गो, स्टे विद अस ओनली, इट्स ओके इफ यू अर्न लिटिल लेस, इट्स ओके, राइट?
Mhm.
क्यों कहा था? बिकॉज उनका वैल्यूज एंड प्रिंसिपल्स आर डिफरेंट. आपका अलग है, उनका अलग है, बट दैट डजंट मीन कि आपका वो रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करते हैं या आप उनकी रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करते हो. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है, राइट?
Yeah.
किसी के उसमें कुछ वैल्यूज एंड प्रिंसिपल्स आर स्ट्रॉन्ग on which they work. Everyone has lots of values and principles in their life. बट जरूरी नहीं है कि सारे वैल्यूज एंड प्रिंसिपल्स का जो वेटेज है आपकी लाइफ पे वो सेम हो. कुछ ज्यादा होता है, कुछ कम होता है. Every person is practical and emotional equally. Is it true?
Yeah.
I want to understand one thing in this one. Like, you mean to say that Scrum has a different methodology and Kanban has a different methodology? That's what you want to say, like the framework. You're talking about the spikes. So Scrum is a one spike. How many spikes are there? Like in an umbrella, there are 6 spikes. Say for example. So how many spikes in Agile?
I can tell you Kanban, Scrum,
Okay.
Lean, Extreme Programming.
Okay. So Scrum.
These are the four. Apart from these 4, there are many more practices which are there with Agile.
What for? Kanban, Scrum, Extreme Programming, and what is that?
Lean.
Oh, okay.
So
these
those are
are the
popular
famous
ones, basically. Okay.
Yes,
But most
these
of
are
the-
famous.
but most of the industries are using Scrum.
Development
And Kanban.
industries are using Scrum.
And Kanban. I did not heard about Lean or Extreme Programming.
नहीं, लीन जो है वो पोर्टफोलियो लेवल पे यूज होता है मोस्टली. तो लीन
हम्म।
आपका जैसे सेफ होता है ना, स्क्रम का सेफ जो है,
Exactly. हाँ.
सेफ जो है वो स्केल्ड अजाइल पे है। अब बड़े लार्जर स्केल पे हम सेफ को यूज करते हैं। द सिमिलर वे लीन का भी है, लीन पोर्टफोलियो लेवल पे होता है। ठीक है, सबके अपने अपने फ्लेवर्स है। every practice of agile has their own flavor. ठीक है, बट कहीं ना कहीं दे आर रिलेटेड टू द agile's values and principles. कुछ चीजें हैं जो अजाइल की हैं उसमें, और कुछ एडिशनल हैं उसमें। ठीक है, कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है क्या?
No, I'm clear. Just I want to write it down because I'm making notes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
you're good.
Okay. So what is Scrum? A framework within which you can employ various processes and techniques. I told you that we are going to provide you only canvas and will ask you to draw something, right?
Mhm.
But it is up to you whether you want to use oil paint, or you want to use poster colors or fabric colors, or you want to do it by spatula, or you want to do it by earbuds or brush, whatever. It's up to you. We'll just tell you that this is the canvas and you have to draw this. That's it. Right? Apart from this, how you are going to draw that painting, it's up to you. Which all resources you want to use, it is also up to you. Okay, but the only restriction is you cannot go beyond this canvas, and you cannot draw anything else which we have described you. Okay,
Okay.
it is grounded in empirical process control theory, which employs an iterative incremental approach, which is useful to optimize predictability and controls risk. कुछ समझा? या बाउंसर गया ये वाला?
Bouncer. Totally bouncer.
Okay, ये वाला फेज जाता ही है। ठीक है, so do you know about empirical process control theory, what it is?
No, I
No.
don't know.
No,
No.
nobody knows about it. Okay, so empirical process control theory is this. This is your start point. Okay, everyone can see my cursor,
Yeah.
Yes.
and this is your goal which you need to achieve, right?
Right.
In general, what do you plan? Initial plan would be the straight one that will start from here and will reach here. That's
Mhm.
it. It is so simple, right? But when you start following your initial plan, what happens? Just let's consider the example that you have traveled for this long, and then you have occurred with some problem
Mhm.
by which you cannot follow the same path. Then what will you do? You'll analyze this problem and you'll change your path, right? Your end goal is to achieve your goal, right? Now you are trying to find out the best path as per your impediments which have been occurred in the way of achieving your goal, right?
So it's basically kind of an example where you're driving and then the road is shut off in the point, then you take a diversion and take a
Yes,
different path.
or some kind of accident has been happen in the way. Then what will you do? You'll switch your path. You'll
So
change your way.
basically, it's called diversion, or it's called detour.
Hmm. So empirical process control theory means we are in process of continuously finding out the best path to achieve our goal. Empirical process control theory says we are continuously in the process of finding out best path to achieve our goal. Okay? So when you are in process of finding out the best path to achieve your goal, so what exactly you are trying to do? You always are analyzing your way, right?
Yeah.
You are in process of analyzing your path and finding out the best way, like we do while we driving to some place. What we do, we start finding out the shortest path, right? Or in other way, if we are in hurry to reach out to that place, then we will continuously be finding out the shortest path. Otherwise, what we'll do, if we have time in our hands, so what will we do? We'll try to find out that way by which we can enjoy the most, right? So for that, what will you do? You'll try to find out on the go what can be done by you and your family, right? Is there any amusement park on the way so that we can enjoy there, or any other thing, any scenic view is also there, so we can stop by there and can click some photos and then we can move ahead, right?
Yeah, like during the fall over here, probably if you have a,
Hmm.
you can go by the highway, but then you feel no, definitely if you go from this way, probably you'll get more
Yes.
lot of fall colors. So you go that place.
Yes. Yes. So what are you doing? As per your situation, you are continuously finding out the best way, right?
Yeah.
And you
Very
are
well said.
analyzing. Sometime what happens, initially when you have started from your house, you were in hurry, right? So you have not planned for anything, you just wanted to reach out there. But on the go, you got to know that uh, that there due to some urgent work, that person is out for some time, and he may come back by an hour or so, right? So what will you do? You have now time in your hand. So what will you do? You'll try to find out some activity which you can do while reaching out there, right? Or vice versa. Initially, you thought that you have time in your hand and you can do all these things. But while driving, you got the call from that person that no, please, I'm at home and plan to come here a little early. So what will you do? You'll leave everything and you'll reach out to that place, right? Again, you'll change your plan and you'll reach out to that person's place. Agree?
Yeah.
So this is what the empirical process control theory, wherein you are continuously in process of finding out the best path to achieve your goal. Any confusion?
No,
No? So
absolutely fantastic.
Scrum is based on this process control theory, empirical process control theory. Please memorize these 4 words. Empirical process control theory. It is very important to explain Scrum. And if you are using these 4 words, then you should be able to explain these 4 words. I'm 110% sure as soon as you speak out about these 4 words, that person will be going to ask you what exactly it is. Can you elaborate it? Okay. Interviewers, mostly interviewers are are looking for the words which you only speak. They try to catch those words and they'll start asking you question around those words only. Right?
Thank you.
Many of you, like you also have taken some interviews. So what will you do? Do you prepare for that? Initial 1 or 2 questions you only prepare, and then once you start interviewing the person, you'll start picking the words which he or she is only saying, right?
Correct.
That explain yours. Can you give your brief about yourself? Then once that person starts, you start picking the words from their experiences. Can you elaborate this? Can you explain this? Right?
Correct.
So the similar way, you should also be prepared if you are going to say these 4 words. So you should be able to explain it. And whenever you are explaining this, please try to memorize this figure, this image. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So it is based, Scrum is grounded in empirical process control theory, which
Can we give a chance to speak to Jaiji because he's not speaking? So whether
He's-
he's sleeping or
actually
he's active.
he is out, he's not at
He's
his home.
working basically.
He's not at home. So he said he'll be on listening mode today.
Oh,
I-
okay, no problem.
I'm listening to everything. I hear everything. It's just occasionally I've got to talk to a couple of people, so I've got to, don't want to interrupt.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
problem.
it's okay.
But,
It's okay.
But Jaiji, it's because of like we are speaking and you are on silent mode. That's why I thought you should be also take a
No, I
participation.
appreciate
So,
it. I understand why you were saying it. You just want to make sure I understood it, but
Yeah.
I'm listening.
not just understanding. We need your participation.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So you
Dupteji,
cannot
for this.
Well, I mean, to me, Scrum, I guess Agile has multiple project management methodologies.
Mhm.
You call them styles, but Scrum is one of them. As long as it doesn't interfere with all the other
Mm.
branches of Agile that need to do their job, and then the Scrum portion of it, you just keep improving that part of it.
We always analyze our work and accordingly we try to improve it. Right?
Right.
So this is what empirical process control theory says. Continuously analyze your thing and improve yourself. Okay?
Mhm.
So it is grounded on empirical process control theory and it is an iterative approach, iterative and incremental approach. Iterative means you know that, right? Iterative, like we do it in iterations, small chunks we do it. And incremental means after every iteration we are having something is in some part of the entire project in our hand, right? So every time when we are completing with our iteration, we are stacking it up. So in a way, we are incrementing our project, right? When we work in iterations or in chunks, we can predict things more betterly, right? We can predict risk also. We can predict what like how long will it take to get completed, and like our predictions would be better in this way, right? And it also helps us to control the risk. Risk factor could be anything. But when you start working into small pieces, you would be able to identify risk in a better way. Agree to this?
Yes.
Is it clear to everyone that what is Scrum?
Yeah.
Okay. It has been created by Jeff Sutherland and Ken Schauber. Okay. In 1993, first team has been established by Dr. Jeff Sutherland at Easel Corporation. And in 1995, Scrum framework formalized by Ken Schauber. Like they have started in 1993, and final version of the Scrum has been introduced in the 1995 by Ken Schauber. Okay, they are the founders of this. Okay.
Yeah.
So now comes the thing, what are the values of a Scrum? Check. Focus, courage, openness, commitment, and respect. See, why focus is the value of a Scrum? If your team members are focused towards the requirement, what they have to work on, then definitely they'll give you the quality out of it. Right? As we have seen in multiple activities, like in both the activities, like in the first activity, which we have done with the names of the people, right? So wherein we have in the first part of activity where we have the 5 people's name which Vijayji has to write in a way wherein only one character at a time of each person's name. So what was the problem over there? His focus was not on a single person's name. It was distributed among 5 people's name. He has to memorize what is the sequence, whose name is going to be the next, what could be the next alphabet in that name. So many things he has to memorize, right? And that's why he was not able to focus on single person's name, and he took more time, right? In the other part of that activity wherein he was focused on single person's name, he had completed that activity in fraction of seconds, like in a very short time of a span, right? And he has not done any kind of mistake in that part of activity.
I don't get the first part. So you said focus on the one person only, and then you have to go for courage. I don't get it, the last part.
I have not talked about courage till now. I was talking only about focus.
So focus is only on one person, you said?
Do you remember the
discussed
first
yeah.
activity which we have done with the names of the person? We have given 5 names to Vijayji to write down.
I had to
Right.
write down the alphabets of each one by one, and then
Correct, I got it. Right.
yeah.
And
So
the
in
second
that
one?
activity, in the first part of that activity, Vijayji's focus was not on the single person's name.
Correct, absolutely.
His focus was on the entire 5 people's names list, right? And he has to memorize what is the sequence of name, what could be the next alphabet in the current person's name, right? And due to that, he was doing mistakes, right? Initially, he was under some other impression and he has written in other way. He was not going in the correct way as we were expecting him to do, right? Right, Vijayji?
Yes, absolutely right.
So this is why we need focus, and that's why Scrum gives more value to focus. So that's why we work in chunks. small pieces. When we are and into that also, into the iteration, I have told you that there could not be many things in progress. There could only be 2 things max, 2 or 3 things max would be in working condition or in progress, right? For example, you have a team of 10 people. Okay, so out of these 10 people, 2 associates are working on requirement 1. Okay, unfortunately, while working on requirement 1, they have find out some problem. They are facing some issues. So what they can do is they can stop working on it and can switch on to the other requirement. But it's still requirement 1 is in progress. You cannot change the status of that, right? Now, those 2 resources are working on requirement 6, let's say. But the requirement 1 status is in progress. And requirement 6 is also in progress now. Whatever tool you are using, you need to change the status of those requirements to in progress. Okay? Now, if still they got some issue and they have to switch to the another requirement, they can do if time permits. And you don't want to waste your resources. So you can ask them to switch on to the next requirement, but these 2 requirements will also be in progress state only.
So basically, all 3 requirement will be in progress then.
Now, if whatever is the condition, now you cannot ask your associate to start working on 4th requirement. You need to find out what is the actual problem behind these 3 requirements by which they are not able to by which these 3 requirements are still in progress state. You need to find out what is the problem behind this. If at all it is not fixable, you cannot work anymore on those requirements, then you need to check with the customer what is the problem, how you can get rid of that problem, and till that, for that time being, you can close that requirement. Then only your resources can move on to the next requirement. Already 3 requirements are in progress and they are assigned to those 2 resources, right? So as per Scrum, you cannot move on to the 4th requirement before closing them. Okay?
Yeah.
Why? Because if you are, if it showcases that you are working on 3 requirements at the same time and your focus is not there where we wanted to have it, right? Now again you are jumping from one requirement to another requirement, which is not the Scrum. That happens only in waterfall, right? Right?
Can you repeat that again?
In waterfall, what we can do is we can work on n numbers of requirement at the same time. Nobody is going to ask you why these 10-20 requirements are in progress. Nobody is going to ask you, or nobody can blame you on for that. But in Scrum, we don't prefer to work on multiple things at the same time. 1 or 2 requirements you can take, or max 3 requirements you can take and start working on it. Beyond these
Okay.
3 requirements, you cannot work on it. Okay?
So it's in Scrum, they
Sorry?
want to in Scrum, they want to
Mhm.
maximize the focus on smaller number of requirements.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That's why we work into chunks.
Right, because
So
that's
that
most
our
productive.
focus would be on few things only.
Right.
And we can get the quality in those things. If we are focused towards our requirement and our focus is not getting distributed, then it definitely will get the quality out of it, right?
Right.
We used to say, now whatever thing is important, we say, no, let me focus here and let me complete this first, then only I'll move on to the next thing, right?
Yeah.
Let me finish this with complete focus, then only I'll work on the another thing. Why do we say this? Because we wanted to have the quality out of it, right? Agree to this or not?
Yes.
Okay. So this is that's why Scrum gives more value to focus. Now next value is courage. Courage in terms of what? We are working in shorter spans. We are working in let's say for 2 weeks iteration. So if one of your resource he or she has been aligned to work on some requirement, right? Now due to any reason that person is not able to complete his or her task, but he is not able to like he is not ready to tell this to anybody in the team. He's hiding that he is not able to work on it, right?
Right.
If he has done this for let's say 3 days, what will happen? Your team's 3 days time has been wasted, right? And now you have only 7 days remaining in your hand to get the like the iteration will get after 7 get completed after 7 days, right? 3 days out of 10 days are very important. If you are working for only 10 days, then 3 would be the like big number which you have wasted, right?
Yes.
So now after 2 weeks span, what will happen? The entire team would be accountable for the failure of it, or whatever is the outcome, the entire team is responsible for that, right? But actually what has happened, the single person has hesitated to explain his or her limitation, right? So now who's accountable? The entire team. Whose fault it was? The single person's fault. But can we overcome with this kind of problem? If we could provide the environment in our team
Kanika ji,
wherein
can you
yes,
give me 5 minutes, 10 minutes break because I want to go to washroom very badly.
okay,
Just,
because
just, five, just 5 minutes.
okay. Okay, so till the time we will continue on courage only. Okay, so how we can overcome with this kind of problem? By creating an environment in the team wherein everyone feels comfortable. Everyone knows that if I also tell about my limitation to anyone, that person is not going to judge me on those things. No one is going to judge my capability on this limitation, right? If you
But is that
create, if
yeah, is that
yes,
like how come means nowadays, you know, right, many people might not know, but they will not say that upfront, or try to work around and then spend time in that. So how do you actually means in the real world, people are going to judge if somebody doesn't know something. So how will that really, I don't know what to say,
that is
but
a Scrum Master's job. That is a Scrum Master's job, that he has to see. He has to enable the environment in the team wherein people doesn't feel hesitated, right? You need to say again and again in front of entire team that it's okay if you cannot work on it, but you can say in the other way also, na? Like it's okay if you don't find out the exact solution for this requirement or for this particular function. That's okay. You can ask for the help to anyone of the team, but don't come blank. You should have tried it once or twice at your end, and you should have to come to anybody asking for the help with some data that you have already tried with this approach or to this approach and it is not working, right?
okay.
And then uh, and then we can find out the other way. If that is not working, then we'll work together and we'll try to find out the solution for that, right?
Yeah.
So this way nobody is going to judge or judge that person that he is not able to work on it, right?
Yeah.
Because he has already given the efforts on that, finding out the solution, but somehow he could not find it, so that's okay.
But the point of, the Scrum Master creating that
Mm-hmm.
environment of openness,
Mm-hmm.
um, really, that also has to be based on loyalty to each other in terms of, he was saying that, well, everybody's going to judge you. Yes, but if you keep it within the team, if you're loyal
Mm-hmm.
enough and you don't talk about it outside the team, then
Mm-hmm.
it's okay. It's, it's like personal family matters.
Hmm.
Stays in the house, it's okay. No one's going to judge you.
Hmm.
And, creating that kind of team, uh, I think is one of the biggest responsibilities of the Scrum Master.
Yes, it is. It is the biggest responsibility of the Scrum Master, wherein he or she has to establish the environment in the team that we are a family only. You can trust on us. You can share anything you want to share, right? And
Yep.
uh, whatever it is, whether it's your personal problem or professional problem, which are impacting in terms of our deliverables,
Hmm.
right? It should not be like the case wherein people started chit chatting about their personal life.
Right.
But if at all it is impacting your work, then you can share it with us, and it's our responsibility that this is not going out of this group. This will be within this group only. So this is the highest responsibility of the Scrum Master, wherein he or she has to establish the trust environment within the team.
Now, here's the $1 million question. The
Yes.
Let's say if the Scrum Master is located in
Hmm.
a different location than the rest of the team,
Hmm.
or I guess, to me, I guess one of the questions is the cultural differences.
Hmm.
And, I come from a background of commercial construction.
Hmm.
It's a good old boys network. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
our guys may fight against each other, but
Hmm.
no better come fight us all. Because anyone else outside the company or outside the project tries to fight with us, everybody unites.
Hmm.
So, that's it. but now dealing with ladies and dealing with people with different backgrounds,
Mm.
that takes a lot of experience and being able to be sensitive, because people from different countries have different expectations.
So see, Jay, how you can overcome with these kind of issues?
I'm back.
By
Okay.
talking to the entire team one-on-one.
Right.
You can get to know each team member of your team, right? You can get
Yep.
to know each member of your team. Then you can start understanding their problems, their way of working, everything. You will start understanding of it, right?
Yep. You know,
And
one of
uh-huh,
one of the I guess when I saw the light, or when I really realized or learned something, was when I was getting my master's. I had a chance to go to Japan for the summer
mhm,
for an internship,
mhm,
and one of the key things of Japanese management, which was astounding, was that if it's a project, and when I say a
mhm,
project, the project team is like half a floor of a building. You know, it can be 40 people, because we're talking a massive project.
mhm,
Uh, they would take everybody that's on the team,
mhm,
including assistants, secretaries, people that had no real say or no
mhm,
real on-site responsibility. They would take them to the project and say, "Hey, give us your ideas."
mhm,
Everybody would brainstorm.
mhm,
Everybody would submit their ideas in writing. Everybody got a chance to take a field trip, go look at the land, see what's
mhm,
around it, see the condition of the soils, everything else.
mhm,
And once everybody had their say, the
mhm,
team leaders would get together and disseminate, or transfer the information, and then to the rest of the team justify the method that they've chosen based on
mhm,
everybody's comments, so
mhm.
that everybody has something vested in the project. They had a
Right,
chance for their say. So therefore,
right.
everybody, once you do that, then everybody's behind you, and then
Mhm,
you don't have that competitiveness internally, and everybody's working towards the same goal as a team.
mhm,
And that was, to me, that was a valuable lesson.
mhm. Yes. What exactly they have done? They have established the environment that each member of the project is equally important to us,
Hmm.
right? First
Yep.
thing, they have established that. How they have established that? By asking each one, what is your way of thinking on this problem, right?
Yep.
And what what could be the outcome of it? Everyone is specialized in their own way, and if you have 40 people in your team, you get 40 outcomes of it, 40 way of, like, 40 solutions for your problem.
Right.
Now it's your way, it's your wish which solution you want to pick up, right?
Yep.
Or you can merge 2 or 3 ideas and uh, can use that idea to solve your problem, right?
Yep.
How, and you have also established the courage in individual to speak in front of 40 people.
Yes.
It may has happened that in your team some freshers are there, or some experienced are also there, because you have done
Yeah.
your masters. At that time it may happen that in your team few were the just graduates who don't have the any experience of industry, but they were there for masters, and
Yep.
few would be there who has the industry experience and they have came there for their masters, right?
Right.
So being a fresher, you hesitate yourself to speak in front of experienced people, right? It's the general human behavior. When we
Yeah.
don't have the industry experience, we hesitate to explain ourselves. Few
Yep.
people are very good in this, few people are not very good in this, right? So we need to establish this kind of environment. See, the live example has been shared by Jay. This is what we need to employ in our team. Okay. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So when we give the value to individual now, by default we'll get the quality out of it. That person will give you commitment, 100% commitment in his work. Okay?
Yep, because they were part of planning it, so they take ownership of it.
Yes, they will take the ownership, and when we give the ownership, they'll by default give you the commitment on that, right?
Yep.
But being a scrum master, you should being a scrum master, you need to keep an eye on each individual of your team. Is everyone working on the right way? Does anyone trying to fool you or to the entire team?
Or themselves. They may just not understand.
That is the responsibility of a scrum master, that they need to understand who the
No, I mean,
individual is.
yep, everybody.
It may happen that the person has the dual image, right? Dual personality,
Yep.
wherein he is very good in faking, but he is actually not working on anything, right? So that's
Yes.
the scrum master's responsibility to understand each individual of the team, right? That's why it becomes more important to have the individual conversation with the scrum master. You speak to individual on daily basis. You decide one day for each person, right? Or two person
Yes.
for a day, that you are going to speak to this person on daily basis. Like two people on Monday, to another two people on Tuesday, another two people on Wednesday, like that way. Or whenever you have time, you just randomly call someone and talk to that person. What is going on? Just have the healthy chat. Okay, what's up? Maybe general chat, like what's up, what's going on, are you having any problem, or how much did you complete till now? And as I do, as I'm not the very technical person, I'm not from coding background. So what I used to do is I call random person and used to say, okay, what is going on? So if he says that I'm working on this requirement, okay, how much is completed? Just, are you facing any kind of issue? So if that person says, yes, I am facing this issue, so that I can get to know, and I can understand whether he is really working on it or not, right?
Right.
If he says, no, it's all fine, I'm working on it, right? So then if I know that person can be fake, so what can I do? I'll ask that person, okay, can you share your screen and explain me till what point you have completed that requirement?
Yeah. In
So,
construction, that's a little bit
Mhm.
easier and quick to assess. What I used to do is just walk around and go to the tables, and you can tell by what stage, what drawings they're looking at,
Hmm.
what schedule's up on their wall and notes that they have. And
Hmm.
then you help them along. Some people have, I know I hated to write, but,
Hmm.
uh, you know, I'd have somebody walk with me that was good on writing side of it and have them write it up for us and give them the credit for it.
Hmm. So that way you can check, and you have
Yep.
to check. Okay.
But then, Richard, is that not like continuously?
Micromanagement.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Yes, micromanagement.
Not good. It looks
See.
bad if you ask them to share your screen. That means you are not trusting your.
No, you can say I'm not. See, you can say I used to say that I'm not from a coding background, so I just want to understand. It's
then it's
your
fine.
way of it's your way of talking, how you are talking to the other person, how politely you can convey your message to that person.
And the other
Okay.
thing is, I would, my guys, I would say, hey, the, electricians need to start their processes. How far along is the HVAC guy so you can help them along? So, involve him in the process and let him know what's happening elsewhere. Give him a piece of information to get a piece of information almost. It works better in construction.
What else we can do is we can say that person that the other team member is facing this issue. So if you can elaborate what exactly you have done in your code, so I can suggest that the same to that person. Okay, this way you can see, you need to mold your words according to the situation, and that should be in very polite way, right? That is the management. Remember, the very first day I have told you that what is management to me. In my opinion, management is manage men tactfully. This is what management for me. Don't be gender biased. I'm not saying only about the men.
Well, that's what, I didn't want to say anything, but okay,
No. Management, I'm just splitting
No,
out
I
the
understand.
management.
Yeah. No, I
Okay.
understand.
So it's same for male and female both.
I can
With
manage it.
females,
Yeah, I can manage at work. It's at home I can't manage the female or my kids.
Oh, at home it's always the other way around. So
Okay, I was gonna say they don't listen.
right? So that's a different story. But I'm only talking about professional terms, professional
Okay,
environment.
okay,
I'm not talking about personal environment.
gotcha.
Okay. So you need to decide that how you are going to communicate your thought to your team members. You are keeping an eye on each one's task, but that person is not he is not understanding what exactly you are doing it, right? You can have the fun activities in your team. Frequently you can have fun activities. By those fun activities also you can judge your team members. You can understand the way of working of your team members,
I
right?
also used to just have somewhat experienced guys hook up with the inexperienced guys and have them form a friendship so that they can talk,
Yes.
so that they can learn from each other a lot more than it'll be easy. It's easier for them to come to their fellow friend, workmate, as opposed to come to you if you're the boss, and you may not be around.
Yes. So everyone has their own way of managing others, right? What we are doing here, we are just trying to find out the best way out of it. And accordingly, you can mold yourself or you can try out in your teams. Okay. In India, most of the informal communication happens on tea. Whenever we are in office, we used to go for tea break. So what happens in tea break? We don't have the formal communication during our tea breaks. but we do understand our team member during that break, right? How exactly that person is, right?
Yep.
एक बार ओपन नहीं होगा, 2 बार ओपन नहीं होगा, 3 बार ओपन नहीं होगा, कभी तो ऐसे होगा ना कि उसके मुंह से गलती या निकल ही आएगी बाहर. If that person is faking, so after 3 or 4 meetings, that person will speak up about his faking thing, or anything by which you can get to know that this person is a fake person, right? You should not believe on his words, right?
Yep. Trust but verify.
Yes. So that is why, okay, so values of Scrums are focus and courage. Why courage is important? The other aspect of courage could be like the other day we have also discussed that if while coding also we have some suggestions, but we don't give it to customer, because who is going to work on that extra thing, right? So that's why we don't give this suggestion to enhancements to the customer. But it may help your organization to get the more business from the particular customer. So you should have that courage to speak up, or you have some queries, but you are not asking about those queries in front of the entire team because you are hesitating to speak up. So for all these reasons, your team members should have the courage. And this is the most important for Scrum, right? Okay.
Oh, can you repeat that? I didn't get you. Means you should have the
Courage, one aspect,
from-
first aspect is for courage is if we are not able to work on anything, we should be able to speak on our limitations, right? The second aspect could be like I have some queries, but I am hesitating to ask this to the team or to the customer, right?
Okay.
I'm thinking that this could be a silly question, but in the other way, that question may help others also to understand that requirement in a deeper way, right? But I'm not asking it because I'm not having that much courage to speak in front of all. So the second aspect is I'm having some queries, but I'm not able to speak in front of anyone. I'm thinking that it could be a silly question, right?
Mhm.
And the third aspect could be I have found some enhancement related to the requirement which I'm working on, but I'm not speaking that enhancement to anybody because I don't want to take extra work on me.
Okay.
The other day we have discussed about it, that while coding on some requirement, we can find out many enhancements related to those requirements, but we don't do that. Why? Who's going to work extra on this requirement, right? If I
Right.
say this, if I suggest this enhancement to anybody, that person will give that task to me only, that is start working on it. I don't want to work more on this requirement. That's it. Let it be. Right?
Mhm.
So for these three aspects, we should have courage in our team to avoid these three things, right?
Yep.
Other value is openness. Openness means how? It is more or less similar to courage, Some person have the courage, but they are not ready to. They have the courage, but they don't want to open them out. They have their attitude like, I'm not going to say the in front of the. I'm not going to say anything in front of them. Why should I say this? Right? If we give the comfort zone to them that we are the family and you can speak on anything in front of us. So, as in family, we all are same, right? Wherever we go, we'll go together. If anything, if let's consider an example of having a function at our home. So, if that function goes well, so every one of the family member will get the appreciation from the guest, right? And if something goes wrong during the function, then who is accountable? The entire family is accountable for that problem, for that failure, right? The similar way, if we are when we are working in IT industry or in any other industry, if everything goes well, the entire team is accountable for that. They will get the appreciation. If something goes wrong, then also entire team is accountable and everyone will get the feedback for that, right? So if we like one of the person has some suggestions regarding achieving our goal, then it would be beneficial for the entire team, not for that particular person, right? If we get this appreciation for some function, then what will we do? We take that appreciation and we identify, we say that, yeah, thank you so much for this, but this is the responsible person who has suggested and we have implemented it, right? The suggestion has came up by this person of our family. The similar way in our project also, when we get the appreciation, that time we say thank you so much for this, and this idea has been shared by this particular team member, right? So if we do this once, our team will get the trust on you that yes, he's not taking the uh, advantage of our suggestions and he's not taking the, what is the right word, credit for that. He's giving the credit to the right person, right? And the similar way, if something goes wrong during a function, then also what we do, okay, we apologize for that, but we don't say that this person is responsible for this mistake, right? What we do as a family, we take that feedback and we apologize for that, right? The similar way in the office also, or in your project also, what do you do? Whatever it goes wrong, you take the responsibility. You say, okay, that has been that is what we have done something wrong, and we'll try to fix that, right? But we don't blame someone that he is the only responsible for this mistake. We don't say this.
The good manager or scrum master says that it's my team. We, have an issue. I'll resolve it. We'll get together with the team. As opposed to saying, it was this guy's fault.
Right. Okay. So that's why we want to implement these values in our team, and they are important for Scrum. Commitment. Why commitment? Why commitment is the value of Scrum?
because you're committed to complete some things and you stay on your words, kind of.
But
If
that
you
in it-
give the ownership to individual, then then definitely you'll get the commitment from that person.
and commitment to the team.
Yes. As a team, we will work and will achieve our goal. Every individual is having some ownership of the entire project, right? Someone is responsible for particular requirement, other person is responsible for other requirement. So everyone is responsible for one of the important thing of project, right? So everyone is working towards achieving a goal. They are committed towards their goal. Okay.
Yep.
Respect. What is respect over here?
It's be willing to listen to what other people say, even if it might seem to be critical of what you've done. But
Mhm.
respect them enough and respect everybody enough to say, hey, it might be better if you did it this way, because that's how I did it in
Yes.
one project 10 years ago. Try it,
Yes.
and then the respect to say, okay, let me give that a try.
Yes. Yes. The same way. If we are saying that people should have courage to speak out about their limitation, so at the same time, we should have respect to their limitations also. It's okay. Everyone has their limitations. Everyone is expert in their own way. But that doesn't mean that every person should be 100% perfect, right? A
Yep.
person should have their own limitations also. So we should respect them also. We are saying that we are not going to judge you on your limitations. So what are you doing? You are respecting them, right?
Yep.
So that is why these are the values of a Scrum. And believe me, these few words, if someone says like, I'm not able to work on this requirement due to this problem. If you, as a Scrum Master or as a project manager, you go and say, it's okay, no worries. We'll work together and we'll find out the best way to resolve this issue. Believe me, that person will be like grateful to you that you have not judged himself, his capability. You have not judged his what to say, his personality by those limitations.
Yeah, you're not judging his ability,
Hmm.
and that builds loyalty.
Hmm. And that few words will make the bond between you and your team member.
Yep.
Once you say that it's okay, then that person will have the courage to speak to you again about the other problems. If at the first time you say, Nini, how can you say that this is not, you cannot work on this is not acceptable. The second time, whatever the reason is, that person is not going to come to you asking for help or asking for this, right? That person will have the image of yours like, this person is not going to help me and he don't understand me, and why should I go and talk to him? I'm not going to talk to him anymore, right? So
Yep.
be humble to your team, whether you are acting as a project manager or you are acting as a Scrum Master. You need to be humble to your team, right? You should understand their problems. You should whatever is there, like in our daily life also, we say wear that person's shoes and then understand what is the problem, What is his current situation? Why he is reacting like this? Right? So again, I'm saying, be responsive. Don't react on things. Right? Jay, do you understand the difference between react and respond?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Reaction is just, you know, reacting without thinking it through. Just an automatic reaction that comes through. Responding is actually listening to what the other person is saying, having some empathy, and then giving the feedback or responding.
Right. React means you are just instantly, you just heard something and you have reacted on it without thinking much on those things. And responding is means you have listened the problem and you have understood it, and then you are reacting on that particular situation, right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so I think we should stop here, or you people want to continue?
Well,
I think
I have to
we're
go.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. Others? Vijayji, Dipteji?
Yeah, we'll
I want to
we'll stop
sleep.
at this point.
It's heavy dose.
नहीं बहुत
No,
अच्छा है
no,
because this is not just, it's kind of personal
timing.
improvement as well, lessons.
Yeah,
No.
actually, Scrum and Agile will help you to improve your personality.
Yeah.
You don't know me very well.
Yes.
What is that? Sorry.
My personality doesn't need improvement.
Good. Good. That's good. That's good. That's the courage, actually. That's the courage. So that's good.
Yep.
Good session, actually, I would also say. Good session. We
Yep.
have understood it in a very clear manner. And thank you so much for participating very actively in these sessions. Okay.
Thanks. Thank you,
Yep.
Richa ji.
So next session would be on Saturday evening. I'll just check whether we can start it half an hour early or not. Okay, so I'll update it. Accordingly, I'll update on the group. So
Yeah.
whether we can have it at 8:30 or 9, update.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you so much. Or at any point of time you want to have any kind of queries or questions, you can drop the message on the group and
Okay.
we'll definitely answer your queries.
So tomorrow we'll meet around 9 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
Thanks.
9 o'clock?
11.
हाँ वो क्या है भाई